call to order the City Planning Commission meeting for Austin for Tuesday, May 9th, 2023. First up, we have some minutes to approve from the last couple of meetings. One from the meeting back on March 14th and one from April 11th. I think we can approve both those in one motion, can we not? So before we do that, I'll ask, does anyone have any additions or corrections to the minutes from March 14th? Okay, does anyone have any additions or corrections from the minutes from April 11th? I hear nothing for either, so we need a motion and a second to approve the minutes as written.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, anybody second?
I second.
Okay. A motion from Commissioner Schrock and a second from Commissioner Duffy to approve the minutes from both meetings as written. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Okay, the motion carries. The minutes are approved as written. First up, we have a petition from Brian Bakken for a variance at 1704 20th Street Southwest for a 15 by 32 garage addition. Holly?
This property is located in an R1 single-family residential district. Also is surrounded by the same. As noted, the petitioner wants to add a 15 by 32 foot addition to his existing detached garage. The aggregate area of the current detached structures is 1,560 square feet. The addition would bring that to 2,040 square feet. And the limit for detached accessory structures is 1,800 square feet. So that would require the variance. So the property in question is 1.1 acres, thus the 1,800 square feet limit. The proposed addition, with the proposed addition, the total lot coverage would be approximately 7%. 40% is allowed. When considering the request, the Planning Commission should consider the following statutory requirements for granting a variance: that the variance is in harmony with the general purposes and intent of the zoning ordinance, that the variance is consistent with the comprehensive plan, that the proposal puts the property to use in a reasonable manner, there are unique circumstances to the property not created by the landowner, and the variance, if granted, will not alter the essential character of the locality in which the property is situated. And then just this is a recommendation to council. I'll pull up the GIS to look at these so they'll be a little more clear. The application just indicates that they're requesting this for more storage. Let's see here. Here's the location. So it's in the, I guess, is this the Austin Acres area, if I recall. Oh no, wait, that's up here, I think. This is an area that was built up before it was annexed into the city, so it has a little bit different feel than some of our older neighborhoods. Some of the parcels are a little bit larger. This particular parcel does not have an attached garage. Both garages are detached. I don't know if you have any questions. I'll just leave it to you.
Was there any objections from any of the neighbors?
No. We sent out notices, which are in the packet. I did not receive any calls or any other contacts regarding any concerns about this proposed variance. It would be on this south side. I'm trying to remember if that was included. South side of this particular structure.
Pretty straightforward. Anybody got any questions? This is a recommendation to council, so we need a motion and a second.
I'll recommend to council for the addition.
You recommend to council to approve?
To approve, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Schrock and a second from Commissioner Salas Ramirez to recommend to council to approve the request for the variance. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Next up, very similar request to consider petition from Thomas and Lisa Dunlop for a variance at 1811 16th Avenue Southwest for a 12 by 20 garage addition. Holly?
The petitioners in this matter are here if you have any additional questions for them. They are also in a single-family residential district, actually not far from the parcel that we just looked at. Also surrounded by a similar zoning district, R1 single family. The petitioner wishes to add a 12-foot by 20-foot addition onto his existing detached garage. The addition in this instance would encroach into the side yard setback to within a half foot of the property line. He's requesting a variance from our city code section, which requires a 5-foot setback within the R1 single-family residential district on side yards. Property in question is approximately 0.3 acres. With this proposed addition, the total lot coverage with structures would be approximately 27%. Again, the factors that the council or the commission must consider in granting a variance, that the variance is in harmony with the general purposes and intent of the zoning ordinance, consistent with the comprehensive plan, that the proposal puts the property to use in a reasonable manner, that there are unique circumstances to the property not created by the landowner, and that the variance, if granted, will not alter the essential character of the locality in which the property is situated. And this is a recommendation to council. So this is the drawing that the petitioner provided. And then, I'll just zoom out here. I think this is your property here. Yes, this is the Dunlop property. So the addition would be to this garage, and their intention is to square that off, but because of the shape of the lot, it ends up being really close to the property line in one spot. So it wouldn't be 5 feet. It wouldn't be a half foot the entire distance, just that one little corner on the southwest side. I don't have anything else to add unless you have any questions.
So is the grassy area on the outside of your lot, is that part of, along the right of way of the road, or?
Yeah, that's the public right of way outside of that blue highlighted area. The blue highlighted area is the, or aqua,
Yep.
is the property boundary.
But you guys maintain that? You maintain that ditch from the road over always? Okay.
When there's no curb, it goes from the edge of the pavement, is
No.
that right, Holly?
No, there's not in that area, no.
Yeah, but when there is no curb,
There is no curb.
then we go by the edge of the pavement, right? The first 15 feet.
We measure from the property line.
But the property line is 15 feet from the edge of the pavement then, right?
Generally, yeah. It's, yeah.
7
that's
feet for
generally-
utility easement and then 5 for sidewalk.
Yeah, generally the width is, yeah. But it's not gonna be quite that here.
Okay.
But only at the one end is where that half foot would be, so.
Yeah, it's just gonna.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think for your consideration, the important thing to think about is that the right-of-way is designed to allow for future road construction that would include a more standardized width road and sidewalks, which this area, because it was developed prior to being annexed in, was developed under different standards. At some point in the future, there'll be a decision when this road is reconstructed, whether to bring it up to the standards of all the other streets. And if so, part of that grassy area would be taken up with a little bit wider road, the boulevard, and the sidewalk.
But that addition would not interfere with that. Am I right?
It should not.
Yeah, the corner of the addition would be 6 inches or so inside of their line, so it would not interfere with the development. It just, I'm highlighting it because you look at it and it looks grassy and it looks like a yard.
Yeah.
But I want you to envision if it was actually a wider road with a sidewalk
Right.
pretty close to the corner of the garage. Not suggesting that's either for or against, just helping you envision that.
And was there any response on this one, Holly, from any of the neighbors?
No, I did not get any responses back from any of the property owners who were notified, or anybody at all. I was just thinking about no concerns. I just something I was thinking about, but I lost my train of thought.
Okay. Again, this is a recommendation of council, so we need a motion and a second.
I move that we recommend the approval of the variance.
Oh, actually, I remember. I was just gonna say in this instance, because it's so close to the property line, we would require that there be a survey so that they know exactly where they're building. And I think that's okay with you. Yeah, okay. Sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to add that.
I guess too, this is an open public hearing, so I should offer you, if you so choose, you are,
Well, way I understood, you're talking about sidewalk and stuff. When we first came into the city,
And then just identify who you are.
I'm Thomas Dunlop, 1811 16th Avenue Southwest.
thank you.
When we were outside the city limits here quite a while ago, and when we got put into the city limits, they told us at that time that there was definitely not going to be a sidewalk, mainly because there was power lines going across the front, the main big power lines, and then the side street, they just said there wasn't going to be a chance for a sign, because of the distance, I guess, what they were talking about. They had to lower that road and everything. My property actually from the road goes down. It's not straight across. So if they did, they would have to fill that in to bring it up to and then there's also 2 trees that are planted that the city or whoever come in put them in. So they're also along that road outside my property line.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a motion to recommend to council to approve. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Okay, so we have a motion from Commissioner Lindberg and a second from Commissioner Duffy to recommend council to approve the variance request. Any further discussion? We'll go ahead and vote. All in favor of the motion, please respond saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. So the motion carries. Okay, last up, we have a fence appeal for 701 10th Avenue Northwest.
Yeah, again, this is a single-family residential neighborhood. The parcel in question is also surrounded by a similar zoning district. The petitioner is appealing from our city code that requires that a solid or privacy fence must be set back 25 feet in a front yard and 12.5 feet on a corner side yard in a single-family residential district. Petitioner wishes to install a 6-foot privacy fence on the property line of her rear side yard, which would not comply with the required 12.5 foot setback. The proposed fencing is a 6-foot tall privacy fence again. It's located on the corner, a corner lot. The petitioner's primary concern in accommodating the setback is maintenance and utilizing the majority of her backyard. The fence is also for her dogs. Let's see. In this particular instance where she's proposing the fence, there should not be any issues with visibility. Let's see if we. All right.
Can we see
I'm
that
stuck.
overhead view?
Yeah, I'm stuck with your. Hang on, let's see if I can get over to other. Can you give me the address?
Yeah, it's 701 10th Avenue Northwest.
Thank you. So the fencing is proposed from here to the sidewalk and down, and I'm not sure if I didn't include that.
Yeah,
some
according-
reason.
You did.
according to This one, it shows,
You see it?
this
It's
is,
sideways.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not seeing it on my. Here.
I didn't go by this one. Did anybody else go by?
Oh, there we go.
I did.
Yeah, I went
Any
looked at
visibility
this.
issues at all?
Yeah, so it should be flipped. So the 701 is,
I don't know
you know,
if that
so
helps.
north is to the left
Oh, yeah.
on this.
There's currently a chain link fence around the
Okay.
backyard, a standard 42 inch or whatever they are.
So it'd be from the rear of the house to the garage.
Yep,
The only visibility issue would be backing out of the garage driveway,
right,
corner of the fence.
right.
With the
But it is
sidewalk.
gonna be set back a bit from the, where the car, well, is that all driveway there? Yeah, I guess it is quite a bit of driveway there.
Yeah, the driveway isn't quite long enough even just to hold a car. It's very, very short.
But there is still some, of a little bit of a gap there, to see if someone was approaching, I think, where that driveway is.
I saw one other house in the same neighborhood on a corner with a privacy fence right next to the sidewalk. So it's not uncommon, and I think in that up in that neighborhood.
That's up kind of by Sumner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That close.
Mhm.
So there's probably some kids walking to school that area.
I know on one other fence question we had at a previous meeting, we had talked about maybe putting an angle on that corner.
45 on the corner, yeah.
I remember
Just,
that.
if there's concern for safety. Oh, did you? Okay.
But there's still a gap, right? That gap right here, if I'm looking at it correctly. This is, oh, I don't know what I just.
Well, it
This is
comes
the
up to the
garage.
corner of the garage and then comes out almost to the sidewalk.
Right.
So when you're backing out, you're not gonna see the sidewalk until you're almost on it, but
And even like the one car on the one image.
It looks
Yeah.
like a one-car garage, though. Is
Yeah.
it?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a single.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a black, like top. I didn't realize it was a car.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, you can see the existing fence there. So the fence is still, what, 10 feet from the car, so, yeah, I don't. Yeah, yeah. I don't have a problem with that one unless someone else does.
I don't either.
And this is this just us or is this a recommendation?
This is also a recommendation to
Okay.
council.
So anybody got any other questions? Looking for a motion and a second then.
I'd move that we recommend the council to accept this variance.
Okay, thank you. A second?
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion from Commissioner Lindberg and a second from Commissioner Schrock to recommend the council to approve the request for the fence appeal. Any further discussion? We'll go ahead and vote then. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries. Anything else, Holly?
No, I would just mention I did send out the use table for you all to look at, and it probably helps to have some context with the rest of the ordinance. But really, I'm just kind of looking for some feedback on, are there specific uses that you feel like you've noticed or that we used to have or that could be included in there to clarify, I guess, what, like, I know, for instance, we have very little on, we have some motor vehicle type uses in the table, but not used car lots, which we used to deal with more often. So should that be included in there, and then should it be restricted to certain zoning districts, kind of things to think about like that? And in your professional experience, I guess, in your own day-to-day lives, if there's something that you could give feedback on, that'd be great. I know we're looking at just updating it, so I thought it would be helpful just to put it to the planning commission in advance. Sometimes I know y'all have questions, and some of you have been on the commission for quite a while, and things have changed since we adopted the new ordinance.
Yeah, so like a used car lot, for example, no matter where it is, it's gonna need a conditional use permit, right? So,
Well, right now it doesn't. We just consider an outdoor sales kind of use under our current use table. So it's
If
just
it's
kind of a general outdoor sales.
if it's in a commercial district, you mean?
I'd have to look at the table again to recall what,
Yeah,
it's just included in a broader category than, and there's always groupers and splitters kind of, but,
okay.
but yeah, just thinking about, what uses go together, I guess what we decided or we're trying to create with this new update was just to allow more uses, but with higher design standards and requirements for screening and things like that. I think that's sort of the direction a lot of communities are going, but that could change again in the future.
Is that something we're gonna have to approve in the future, or?
I mean, residential is still just what it always has been, single
Right.
family and twin homes, but I mean, there's some talk about increasing the number of units allowed in a single family district as well, just to increase the density, just try to make more housing options available, with, I guess with the affordability aspect of housing. Maybe a multi-unit would be more an option for somebody that could rent out a portion and live in a portion, versus having a single family home. But anyway, just things to think about.
But if you make any changes to the table, and is that something we would approve and then recommend to council at some point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, we can make recommendations to council on any of the zoning ordinances. So any of the things that come before us, if something strikes you as, really needing some change, we can discuss it and make recommendations.
Okay.
Yep.
I think that's what she's saying, it's being reviewed at the staff level.
Okay.
You guys have input at the staff level, that'd be helpful so that they can present something back to you that makes sense. If you see it now, that can save some time.
Yeah, it's always kind of, seems like as soon as you make something, make some changes, you realize you forgot something.
Yep.
And it's a bit of a process with notices and things like that, so.
I do like the way it works online with the table. It's in like a window.
Yeah, that's my
As you
favorite
scroll
part.
up and down, the headings
Yeah.
stay there. So
And you can
always
share
see
the table,
headings.
to
Yeah.
people too, so if they just want to know what uses are allowed.
It's a lot easier to look
Yeah.
stuff up on that table
Yeah,
now.
I agree. I like that aspect
Be
of it
nice.
too. And I do like that the development and zoning are both included in the same chapter as well. But people put the two together. They work together. But anyway, I have nothing else, so thank you all for coming and have a great night.
Anybody else got anything? I need a motion and a second to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Swenson, and a second from Commissioner Salas Ramirez to adjourn. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. We are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.